Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Monday and it is time for a Monday view, and we are going to be taking a look at the Koh-I-Noor 144 set that was chosen as our pencils of the week. And of course we will be coloring in Art Matters as well. I hope you are all doing well. It's been a busy week, and of course, we've got Christmas coming up and all the rest of it. Just going to zoom you in here a little bit so that you can see the colors in this wonderful set. And of course, we will be working on the testing of this set because this page does not have any testing done on it. Instead, I did the testing on the coloring of the pretty flowers and stuff. So as you can see, they blend quite nicely. They do create a wonderful hue of depth. We have a great variation, a great selection of colors, both in our yellow tones, into our peachy orange tones, into our oranges, our reds, and then into our pinks as well, into our purples. Now there's a lot of pink, but there's a lot of red too. So this set actually has a really good selection of reds, and they've intertwined the reds and the pinks together, separating them from red pinks and purple pinks. And then of course we have our purples into our blues, another set with a very large amount of blue. I honestly think that sometimes the blues that they put in sets can be condensed down quite a bit. It does have a great aquatic blue-green area, as well as a great arrangement of greens. This is one of the largest sets of browns I've seen in a set, going from our lightest browns into our darkest browns, as well as some cream browns, which is great. In a smaller set, that is. The 520 sets have a lot of the cream browns and a lot of brown colors as well. And then we go into our grays. And this has, of course, our um, warm grays as well as our cool grays, but it also has some slate grays and some blue grays, as well as, our silver, our gold, as and our blacks, as well as a bronze color as well. So it's got three different metallics: the bronze, silver, and gold. The gold isn't as gold as I'd like, but I do match that up with the dark yellow ochre or the gold ochre, and it gives you that yellow gold that I like. All right, so a great selection of colors. The Koh-I-Noor 144 set is available on Amazon. They are a polycolor, so that means that they are an oil-based pencil, which is my preference. I prefer oil-based pencils to other to wax-based. Not that I don't like wax-based, I do. I do have many different sets of wax-based pencils that I enjoy, but I do like to layer, and sometimes with wax-based pencils you don't layer as much as you do with a oil-based pencil. All right, so I've got the three colors here. So I've got red, blue, and yellow. So I've got, no, that's orange. It's papaya orange. I don't want papaya orange. I want yellow. And of course, I've got too much stuff on my desk, so trying to find things. Let's see. I think I want uh, 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 um, chrome yellow, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I want chrome yellow. All right, so we're going to go with a navy blue, scarlet red, and chrome yellow for our testing. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the test area a little bit better. All right. And then we're going to, of course, start on our yellow. I don't know why I do the dots with the yellow, but I do. It's fine. It works. It's not like I'm going in order or anything. I always put all my pencils in lightest to darkest, so that's why I start with the yellows. And there's our yellow, and then our red. And again, these are a Polycolor pencil. They are a hexagonal pencil. They are a really good layering pencil. They are a little bit smaller than, say, Polychromos. So if you are a Poly fan, a Faber-Castell Polychromo fan, these will work really well for you. They are a little bit softer, but like a little bit smoother. They don't take as much layering as Polys do, but they are a thinner pencil. So they feel smaller in the hand than the Polychromos. I don't know if the lead is smaller, but the pencil itself feels smaller. The Koh-I-Noor factory and main Koh-I-Noor distribution center and store is out in Prague in the Czech Republic. And yeah, Bob went there, but they were closed. When he was in Prague, he went and stopped by to give me a tour, but they were closed when he was there, so I wasn't able to see it, but that's okay. All right, so we've got our dots down for our water test. I'm also going to do our dots for our smudge test because, I'm here, so we might as well. They work really well on the Nina 65-pound cardstock, which is what I'm using them on now. And I have been using them on coloring book paper on Karen's Faye, the Helpful Fairy, and they work beautifully on the coloring book paper as well. And lots of layers able to be put down even on coloring book paper, which is great. The two tests that I'm doing right now, the smudge test and the water test, are the reasons for these are I like to use stickles. I like to use gel pens and things like that on my pictures. All of these things are water-based products, and if your pencil moves with water, it will move with a water-based product. So you need to be careful using water-based products if your pencil is going to move with water. And I use a lot of those things, so I like to know if I need to protect the pencil as well as the water-based product. Like if I'm using something clear, I don't want it picking up the color behind it. I want it to amplify the color, but I don't want it to pick it up. And if I'm using something red, I don't want it picking up, yellow or green into it because then it'll just look like mud. All right, so we're going to start with our water. I've got my water brush here, which is wet. And we're going to test the yellow. I'm not scrubbing these, I'm just gently going over top of them. And the red, because that's what I would do with my... Okay, so the blue moves a little bit. I was expecting the red to move a lot more than it did, but they didn't move half as much as I thought they were going to. So that means that I can definitely use those water-based products on top of this and not have to worry about how much of it is going to change the color of the water-based product that I'm going to use. Now the smudge test I do specifically for myself. I know the chemical balance and the chemicals in my skin, the balance of chemicals in my skin tends to smudge pencils when I color, because I color with my hand on the page, rubbing back and forth as I color. So knowing that, I want to know if my chemical composition is going to smudge the pencils so that I can better prepare myself for coloring a page. If I'm going to be moving my hands back and forth a lot, I will usually seal that in with the Caran d'Ache blender so that I don't smudge it all over the place. I know, like for example, Prismacolors, I smudge those everywhere. Um, the last pencils we were using, I smudge. The new pencils that I just got in and reviewed on Friday, I was able to smudge. So I have to do the smudge test for myself. If you have any, just do the smudge test for yourself, because sometimes you don't smudge a pencil and then the next pencils you're smudging. So it all depends upon the mixture between the two. And as you can see, I am going to smudge these pencils. So I have to be careful with them on rubbing my hands back and forth. All right, so I need those ones out for that. Let's do our gradients. So I'm going to grab light French pink, punch pink, and blush pink, because I like pink. So we're going to start with our punch pink. And we're going to put a good layer. Now remember, these are a layering pencil, so we're just going to put down one layer, a good heavy layer of it, and then we're going to build our colors into it. Now, if you don't know what kind of pencil you're using and you're doing this test, which is a 3-color gradient blend test, start with your dark, put down one layer, add your next color, and blend them together by putting a little tail off of your dark, and then start the next color. If they blend together really nicely from that point, then you don't need to build that color. If they show a really hard line after you've done your test, then you need to build that color up a little bit more. So while you're coloring, if you find that you have some really harsh lines, all that means is that your colors need to be built up a little bit more, have a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more pigment on the page for the colors to blend into to become one. So I'm putting down a little bit of a line there. And then we're going to go into our blush pink. So I went from punch pink to French pink to blush pink. Okay, and then we're going to work our way backwards. So we're going to start with, we put down the blush pink. Now I'm going to work in that French pink. And because I know what kind of pencils these are, and I know what they should do with building up color, that's why I'm doing a layering, because I know that they will blend together better with a layer than if I was just to do one layer and do it heavy. I would have some really harsh lines. But that's why we do this test, is to verify whether or not we need to build that color up or if we can just smush it together like we do prisms. Kind of a mute test for me on these pencils because I've used them before and I know that they require some buildup of color to blend. But as you can see, we do get a gradient blend from dark to light. So they do blend together very, very well. Now our rainbow blend is to verify whether or not we can go through 3 different colors and create 5 different colors. So we're going to create our basic colors. So we're going to take the red, we're going to add the yellow, creating orange, as well as adding blue to the yellow to create green. So I'm putting down a good layer of the red because I want the red to be there. And then we're going to put a tail. Now remember, if you're going to put down the red first, you're going to have a red dominant orange. If you put down the yellow first, you're going to have a yellow dominant orange. So a red dominant orange means it's going to be a little bit darker. A yellow dominant orange is going to be a lot lighter. Now we're going to go in with the yellow. I'm going to start back here so that I don't put any red in the area that the green needs to be. And we're going to come into that red with that yellow. And again, just like over here, I know that these need to be built up. So I'm going to come back with the red. And I'm going to go into the yellow with the red just to show you the difference between the two. And then we're going to take the yellow again and we're just going to finish that off. So as you can see, we've got our red orange, and our yellow orange. And now we're going to go in with our blue. And because we started with the yellow, our blue into the yellow will be a lighter green than if we started with the blue and yellow going into it. And I will show you that here in just a minute. That will provide a darker green. Just going to make sure I have enough room there. All right. And then we're going to take our yellow again. So as you can see, with the area that we started with going over the yellow, it's a lighter green. Now we're going to go into the blue with the yellow and create that dark green. And then we're going to have our blue. And there we have it. And it definitely does do the rainbow. So we've got red, red, orange, orange, yellow, light green, dark green, and blue. All right, so let's check out the blenders. Now, Koh-I-Noor has their own um, blender. This is the blender for the tritones, but it came with my 144. So we're going to test this, but we're also going to test our Caran d'Ache blender as well. Now I'm going to choose a really dark color so you can see the white spot of the page. And I'm not going to do a multicolor. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. But we're going to start off with this one here, which is a Caput Mortem, a Dead Man's Purple. Now remember, when using a blender pencil, you do require enough pigment on the page for the pencil to actually move. So if you're trying to blend or cover up the white spot with only one layer of pencil on your page, you're going to find that your blender is going to pick up that color. It's not going to move it around. It's just going to scrape it off. All right, so we are going to go in with another color just because. And I'm going in with that red again. So this is scarlet red. And the first one we started with was Caput Mortem. All right, so we've got dark red and regular red. In the top part, we're going to use, start at the light, the Koh-I-Noor blender. It's very scratchy. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like the feel. Just saying, I don't like it. And then we're going to go in with the Caran d'Ache blender. The Koh-I-Noor blender does work. It's just really hard, like it's really scratchy. It's almost the same as a Derwent blender, but it feels a little bit harder. And I think it blended better than the other one, but it moved the color more. The other one brightened the color up, which is what I enjoy about it, is it makes all the colors nice and bright and shiny. So that's with the blender. Now, typically, when you have a set of pencils, it is always best to blend with the set of pencils you have. So a lot of times the white in a set is very translucent. The cheaper the set, the more sometimes the more translucent the pencils. um, but the wax core, the composition of the pencils is the same as all the other pencils in your set. So blending with that gives the core composition, gives the ability to blend those colors together better because you're using the same product, the same wax core. You know what I mean. Words are hard, people, and I just lost all of mine. All right, so I've got the titanium white here. Now, if you are going to blend with white, if your white is not translucent, if it's very opaque, you will see a major change in the color that you're blending. It's going to be lighter. So as you can see, the white here isn't as or as opaque as, say, like a Prismacolor white, but it is still changing that color, but it does blend the colors together quite well, and it does remove that white spot. So even though it is a little bit taking it down the color a little bit, it's still blending them together. Now the cost, you don't want to see this. The cost of the 144 pencils is $179.99 on Amazon. Now that does work out to only $1.25 per pencil, which is not bad for an artist grade pencil. So if you're concerned about cost and how much per pencil that's going to be, I do believe you can buy smaller sets. Well, I know you can buy smaller sets on the Amazon, but I do believe that Koh-I-Noor has their own website that you can purchase from, and I think I can't remember if it's Blick or Jerry's Artorama. Also Cult Pens, I do believe you can buy Koh-I-Noor from as well. So it may be cheaper to get a smaller set and see if you like them before jumping into the full 144 set. Now, are there colors in here that I feel are unnecessary in this size of a set? Yeah, there are a few. Like these three blues here are very, very close together in color, and I feel that they're a little bit redundant. These two greens here also I feel are redundant. They are so close together that they're unnecessary. Well, one of them is anyway. But yeah, there are colors in here that I feel they could have done without, like the gold yellow ochre and the yellow ochre. Um, because the yellow ochre is very close to papaya yellow, so eh. But being a person that enjoys having all the pencils, I love the set. And if you do a complete gradient from lightest to darkest and you put all of these in order of lightest to darkest, you will see that each of the colors are slightly different. They're not exactly the same. They are slightly different. They are not duplicates in any way. But some of them are a little unnecessary. And I just noticed that I'm not wearing my wedding rings. I've been baking, so I didn't want all the cookie dough and pastry and everything in my rings, so I took them off. I just noticed. All right. So, of course, it is Monday, and we will be coloring in Art Matters. We will be using Koh-I-Noor colored pencils in Art Matters today. Last time we colored in here, we colored this one here, which was Make It on the Good Days Too. So she's having a wonderful day, relaxing in bed and drawing, making art. All right, so the next page that we're working on is, and fifthly, while you're at it, make your art. Do the stuff that only you can do. The urge starting out is to copy, and that's not a bad thing. Most of us only find our own voices after we've sounded like a lot of other people. But the one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. And that's what we're going to be working on today. All right, so I need some green because there's some green up there. Let's get that out of the way. That one. I know I have a brighter one here somewhere. Love it when I lose pencils. More than likely it fell on the floor somewhere and I just didn't notice. That's alright. We'll work with it. All right, well, my headset decided, okay, you're done. And I was not. All right, so we're going to grab some light green and we're going to grab some grass green because we're going to do these in a nice bright green colors. All right. Now, of course, this is not a coloring book. This is a reading book. So the pages in here are not meant to be colored on. So if you have the urge to color in this book, which I strongly encourage, um, make sure that you put a page behind your page, a piece of paper behind your page. Otherwise, you will transfer that ink or color, if you've already colored the page, to the next page, which will cause anxiety, irritation, and all that fun stuff, as well as extra work because then you'd have to go through and erase it. So just save yourself some work and put a piece of paper behind the page so that you don't have to do that extra work. Now the artist that drew the pictures for this book is Chris Riddell. The artist that wrote this book is Neil Gaiman. And they are a wonderful pair of people, one of which does some wonderful writing. And Chris, of course, created the 100 Days of the 100 Hugs book that I did the 100 Days of Hugs from. Not this last year, but the year before. And the reason why I'm coloring in this book now. The lovely Ashley Colors sent me this book to color in, and I want to finish this book and send it off to her. I was really hoping to have it finished this year, but with getting sick in October, I am way behind. So we will continue it through the rest of this year, and I think next year I will finish up the pages that I haven't completed this year on my own. And we will figure something new out for Mondays. Because, yeah, new is always good. I might just call it Manic Monday, where everything is manic because, we've been relaxing all weekend and then we have to go back and do work things and life things on Mondays. All right, we've got some pretty little flowers there, so let's grab some of that pink. This one is the French pink. Suiting, suiting. And again, it's very loosely drawn, so it can be colored very loosely. All right. Now we're going to grab our skin tones here. So I'm going to grab the peachy orange, and we're going to go under her eye and her nose. And we're going to color this very loosely because it goes up into the words, and Chris did not put in a lot of detail there. I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit more. Actually, move the book so you can see it. There you go. So you can actually see what I'm doing. Put in the shadows between her fingers and under her arms. So I hope everybody is enjoying the build up to the holidays. I know it can be very stressful, and that's one of the reasons why, you need to take the time sometimes just to color. I had somebody say to me the other day, because I created a event for our Facebook group, and I may not be able to participate in it. And I let her know that I was probably not going to be able to participate in it. And she said, well, maybe you need to create a event that you're going to participate in, that you intend on participating in. And it's not that I don't want to participate in it. It's there's only so much time in the day, and there's only so many days in the week, and there's even less days in the month. And I went through my brain and I went through all the lists of all the things that I have to do, and then all the things I want to do. And I said to her, I said, because she said create a challenge that you're going to participate in. Create that challenge. And I said, well, actually I have. The challenge for this month is to try to accomplish everything on your list and find the time and take the time to sit down and color. And I give that time to all of you. The time that I have to sit down and color, I give to all of you. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that much more than rushing around and all the rest of it that the holiday season brings. So if I can share that with you guys and enjoy the 2 hours of a stream where I'm coloring with you all, then I think I've accomplished that challenge, because I don't do anything else during that 2 hours. I'm not running around pulling cookies out of the oven or vacuuming and coming back to the page. I'm sitting down and I'm concentrating on that page. Same with when I do the Matters Monday and the reading of Karen's book on Sundays. During the week, I color the page that is on the video, so I get to sit down and color that. And I know that if I'm recording it, I can just say, nope, I'm recording right now. I will get to that later. But if I'm not recording it, my brain says, oh, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this, and it's getting late, so you should do that now. Instead of giving myself the time to color a page. And the small accomplishments, or the book that Joanna Bashford just came out with, I can't remember the name of it now. Brain just said, nope, you're not remembering that because you don't have the book. Ah, the joys. But that book is fantastic for people that are extremely busy, that have so much on their plate and not enough time to do it all. And the thing I like about that book, and the trying to think of the words, the meanings behind it, is that even if you are busy, take that small moment. One moment. I have a horrible tickle in my throat. Sorry. Okay, that's better. So it just telling you to take that small moment and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about what else needs to be done. Take the couple of minutes or 20 minutes, and sorry about that. Okay, now if my body can stop sneezing, that'd be good. Oh, now I'm gonna sniffle. I'm sorry, guys. But take those small moments and spend the time relaxing and enjoying yourself with the craft that you enjoy to do. Even during really busy times like the Christmas season, back to school, summer break, all of those things that keep us busy all year round. Oh my goodness, now I got the sniffles. Now we're going in with dark yellow ochre. And again, just doing it very loosely. Oh, go away, snifflies. Just filling in the area of the hair here. And then we'll be taking a darker one, doing the strands. Okay. All right. And then we're going to use this one. And use some burnt umber. Ivy. And the reason why I say that is because I thought about it, and I seriously was concerned that I was creating something that I didn't want to participate in. And it wasn't the fact that I don't want to participate in it. It's the factor of I have a lot of things that I need to do and not enough time to do them all in. And I do participate in ways that a lot of you guys don't see. So I give of my time to both my craft and to you guys via the YouTube channel. So sometimes the contest is just for you guys. The challenge is just for you guys. I challenge myself every day. Alright, now we're going to grab this one and we're going to do the branches. What little bits of branches you can see. And there we have it. We're going to do her eyes in a nice bright blue. And then this one. And there we have our page for today. Again, it says, and fifthly, while you're at it, make your art. Do the stuff that only you can do. The urge starting out is to copy, and that's not a bad thing. Most of us only find our own voices after we've sounded like a lot of other people. But the one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. I'm going to zoom you out so you can see the page in its completion. And the next page for Art Matters is this one here. And we will be coloring that next Monday. We have a few more pages left to go. Not a whole lot, but there are still a few. So we probably will not get this finished this year, but I will finish it up and do a full flip through of all of the pages after it's done. So that is Neil Gaiman's Art Matters, because your imagination can change the world. It is illustrated by Chris Riddell, and both are absolutely fantastic artists, both in their own right of writing, as well as Chris Riddell with his drawing. So if you ever have a chance to look at either one of them, please do. All right, and of course the Koh-I-Noor colored pencils is the pencil of the week. This is the Koh-I-Noor 144 set, and it did pass the water test. It does move a little bit with water. It did not pass my smudge test, so I have to be careful with how much movement I'm making on the page. It does blend very nicely together, both in the rainbow as well as the three color. The blender I would suggest using is the Caran d'Ache. It does brighten the colors and move the pigment around a little bit better than the Koh-I-Noor blender. I found the Koh-I-Noor to be a little bit sketchy. Another one that is a much preferred way to blend is with your white or a lighter color that you are using. The cost for these pencils is $179.99 on Amazon, which does work out to be approximately $1.25 per pencil. I will, of course, put the links for the Koh-I-Noor 144 set in the description. It is an Amazon link, and I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do get a couple of pennies for the purchases you make after clicking on my link. All right, guys, with that, thank you all very much for watching. Of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.